Hey everyone, welcome back to channel. Today we're diving into a heartfelt and deeply personal story involving Hollywood couple Rebecca Gayheart and Eric Dane. It's a story about love, family, hardship, and what it means to show up for someone even when life gets messy. Rebecca Gayheart's recent comments about her relationship with Eric Dane offer a rare, honest look at how love, responsibility, and family can continue to exist even after marriage has fundamentally changed. For many people, celebrity relationships are often viewed in simple terms, together or divorced, happy or broken, but Rebecca's words challenge that way of thinking. She describes her relationship with Eric as very complicated, and that complexity is rooted in years of shared history, parenthood, emotional distance, and now, a life-altering medical diagnosis. Their story is not about rekindled romance or dramatic reconciliation. Instead, it is about showing up for someone when life becomes difficult, even if the relationship no longer fits traditional definition. Rebecca Gayheart and Eric Dane were married in 2004 and spent over a decade together, building a life that included raising two daughters. Like many long-term relationships, theirs experienced struggles that eventually led to separation in 2017. A year later, Rebecca filed for divorce, signaling what many assumed would be the final chapter of their marriage. However, despite years of living separately, the divorce was never finalized. For outsiders, this may have seemed confusing or even contradictory, but as Rebecca has now explained, relationships don't always end cleanly or on a specific timeline. Emotional bonds, shared responsibilities, and deep sense of family don't simply disappear because legal paperwork is filed or because two people no longer live under the same roof. Everything shifted even more dramatically when Eric Dane publicly revealed his diagnosis of ALS, a progressive neurological disease that affects muscle control and mobility. The announcement brought public attention not only to his health but also to the quiet decisions happening behind the scenes. Just weeks before Eric shared his diagnosis, Rebecca dismissed her divorce filing, meaning they remained legally married. This timing led to speculation, but Rebecca has been clear that the decision wasn't about rekindling romance. Instead, it was about practicality, care, and the reality of facing a serious illness together as a family unit. Her actions reflected choice rooted in compassion rather than appearances. Rebecca has spoken candidly about how their relationship no longer revolves around romantic love, but something she describes as familial love. This distinction is important because it highlights a type of connection that is rarely talked about publicly. Familial love exists beyond attraction, beyond passion, and even beyond conflict. It is grounded in shared history, mutual concern, and a sense of responsibility for one another's well-being. Rebecca has emphasized that Eric knows she wants the best for him, and that belief guides how she supports him now. In many ways, their relationship has transformed into a partnership centered on care, respect, and co-parenting rather than marriage in the traditional sense. Caring for someone with ALS is physically and emotionally demanding, and Rebecca has not shied away from acknowledging how difficult this journey has been. Eric now requires extensive medical support, including round-the-clock nursing care, and navigating this reality has changed daily life for everyone involved. Rebecca has described moments that feel overwhelming, such as trying to help Eric with mobility in public spaces while feeling the weight of people watching. These moments reveal the vulnerability that comes with caregiving, especially when it happens under public scrutiny. Even for someone accustomed to life in the spotlight, these experiences can feel deeply personal and emotionally exposing. What stands out most in Rebecca's reflections is her honesty about discomfort and uncertainty. She does not present herself as endlessly strong or perfectly composed. Instead, she acknowledges feeling humbled, frustrated, and emotional at times. This openness makes her story relatable to anyone who has cared for a loved one facing illness. It also challenges the expectation that caregivers must always appear resilient and selfless without struggle. Speaking about her own discomfort and learning process, Rebecca humanizes the experience and gives voice to feelings that many people silently carry. At the heart of this story are Rebecca and Eric's two daughters, who remain the central focus of every decision their parents make. Co-parenting under normal circumstances can be challenging, but navigating it alongside serious illness adds another layer of complexity. Rebecca has made it clear that maintaining stability and emotional security for their children is a top priority. This includes ensuring that their father is supported, cared for, and present in their lives as much as possible. Her commitment reflects an understanding that family bonds extend beyond romantic relationships and that children benefit from seeing compassion and cooperation modeled by their parents. Rebecca's perspective also invites broader conversation about how society defines successful relationships. Often, success is measured by longevity, romance, or staying together at all costs. However, her story suggests that success can also mean adapting, redefining roles, and choosing kindness even when a relationship no longer looks the way it once did. She and Eric may not share traditional marriage anymore, but they share something equally meaningful, a sense of loyalty rooted in shared life experiences and mutual respect. There is also an element of quiet strength in Rebecca's decision to support Eric without framing herself as a hero or savior. She does not position her actions as extraordinary. Instead, she speaks as someone doing what feels right for her family. This humility stands in contrast to the dramatic narratives often associated with celebrity relationships. Rather than sensationalizing the situation, Rebecca's words bring it back to something deeply human, caring for someone because you once built life together, because you share children, and because compassion doesn't end when love changes form. Eric Dane, for his part, has expressed gratitude for the support surrounding him and has continued to approach his diagnosis with openness and determination. His willingness to share his experience publicly has helped raise awareness about LA, while also reminding people that illness does not erase a person's identity, ambitions, or relationships. Rebecca's presence in his life reinforces that message. She is not there to rewrite the past, but to help him navigate the present with dignity. This story resonates because it exists in the gray areas that people often avoid discussing. It's about staying connected without romantic expectations, about choosing support without obligation, and about redefining what commitment looks like when circumstances change. Rebecca Gayheart's honesty offers reminder that relationships are rarely simple and that love can evolve into something quieter but no less meaningful. Her words suggest that caring for someone does not require perfection, certainty, or even clear label. It requires empathy, patience, and the willingness to show up. In the end, Rebecca and Eric's story is not about celebrity status, headlines, or public perception. It's about two people who shared a life, raised children together, and continue to support one another in a way that makes sense for them. It highlights the reality that life does not follow neat story arcs, and that sometimes the most powerful acts of love happen long after romance has faded. Rebecca's message is simple yet profound. Relationships can be complicated, but compassion does not have to be. Thanks for watching. What do you think about Rebecca and Eric's situation? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next video.